Deuteronomy chapter 30. Now when all these things shall come upon thee, either the blessing or the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt turn into thine heart among all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, and shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and obey his voice in all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, then the Lord thy God will cause thy captives to return, and have compassion upon thee, and will return to gather thee out of all the people where the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. Though thou wouldest cast unto the utmost part of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he take thee. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will show thee favor, and will multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart, and the heart of thy seed, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And the Lord thy God will lay all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, and that persecute thee. Return thou therefore, and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of the land for thy wealth. For the Lord will turn again, and rejoice over thee to do thee good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers, because thou shalt obey the voice of the Lord thy God, in keeping his commandments and his ordinances, which are written in the book of this law, when thou shalt return unto the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul. For this commandment, which I command thee this day, is not hid from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, Who shall go up for us to heaven, and bring it us, and cause us to hear it, that we may do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, Who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it us, and cause us to hear it, that we may do it? But the word is very near unto thee, even in thy mouth, and in thine heart, for to do it. Behold, I have set before thee this day life and good, death and evil, in that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandment, and his ordinances, and his laws, that thou mayest live, and be multiplied, and that the Lord thy God may bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not obey, but shalt be seduced, and worship other gods, and serve them, I pronounce unto you this day, that ye shall surely perish. Ye shall not prolong your days in the land whither thou passest over Jordan to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, by loving the Lord thy God, by obeying his voice, and by cleaving unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give them.